All right, here we go. We're gonna try to get this 9100 up and happening, show you how to load a job, and how to get the machine turned on and trace the design so everything runs smoothly for you. We've already lubricated the machine and it's ready to turn on. So the next step is to take our embroidery file, which I have up on the screen, and we are going to save it to a USB drive. So I'm gonna go to my file, say save as. I have it on a USB drive F over here, and I'm going to save it as the job name, which I've picked out for it. And I'm saving it in Tajima file, DST, Purdy Universal, and saving it. Yeah, I already have it on there, but I just wanted to show you so I can save it. All right, it's a small design. It's only 4,359 stitches. So we can get that run real quick and show you how it works. All right, so now we have it on the USB stick, so we'll take it out of the computer and we're gonna bring it over to the 9100, which is this machine right here. And in the back of the machine, let me see if I can get that adjusted so you can see it a little bit there. There are some ports back there. That little black box on the wall is where I have my machines networked. But yeah, I'm gonna take the USB stick, just a regular USB, and at the top, there's an insert. You gotta kinda, just be careful when you put it in there, and it slips right in. And now I'm gonna turn on the machine. I have my power supply under here, kind of back under here, there's a switch. All right, now we're gonna turn it on. And this is what the screen says. All right, now it's ready to initialize. We're gonna hit the set button, which is kind of like an enter. And then the machine is gonna go through a motion. There it goes. All right, and now it's ready to go. All right, and there is the last place I ran the machine. So it kind of, the tab array, this little dealie right here that works the XY axis, it'll leave off wherever you go, or leave. So I had actually had this arm out here because I was running something much larger, so I moved it in. So now I need to get it recentered. So what we're gonna do is we need to be at the start point. So I'm gonna hit that button. Machine does not move. And let's see here once. Let's get that over there just a little bit more. There you go. All right. So I'm at the start point. I'm going to hit the data button. And there's an input right at the top it defaults to. And this one says USB. There is an option. You can make it say PC or USB. I haven't been able to get it work through my PC yet, but I'm working on it. I have 5 other machines wired to my PC, and they work great. This one is a little finicky. So I picked USB because I want to be able to get the job done. We'll hit set, and now it's searching the files. And I got a ton of them on this USB stick. So give me a second to find the file we are looking for, which was that C_Sindel. And you can see they are all DST files. I got about 150 of them on here. Let's see, scrolling. I want to show you that because it's got 2 colors in it. And I'm familiar with what it looks like. Oh, there it was, right there. C_Sindel. It doesn't show you all the letters, but you know it shows you. You got to be able to recognize that file, DST. So it's picked it. I'm going to hit set, which is your enter. It is now reading the data. It has the data. It reads very fast. When it's solid green, it has the entire job. When we get done running this, I'll show you how to clear the memory in case you're not able to read the entire job. Super easy to do. So the first color, I'm going to make white, which is my needle number 2. And then we're going to run another color. I got a dark blue spool right here, needle number 12. And the way you do that is you hit 10 plus 2 is 12. So that's needle number C, and that's this blue one right here. So they start from front to back. Here, I'll show you on this next machine. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and always from the back to the front, all the way out to number 15 out here. Okay, and this is 15 on this machine, 12 here, 9 is the black cone. All right. So now we have that in, and it's ready to go. So let's see, let's get this into a hoop over here. Let me show you just how to do something real quick on a piece of tester material. Pretty standard size for a hoop. These work great. They got the extra long screws on them, so if you have to buy hoops, this is an Allied brand. And I am going to get a little piece of backing right here. I use a tear or a cutaway. We'll just use one piece just to run this little piece of test. And always keep some tester material around so that way you have something to work with just to see what you're doing. I got this one right here with all this little tester stuff on it I've done. So I'm just going to take a little piece of that. You insert the hoop so it's nice and flat. You want to kind of taut. Feels just a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it up some. Don't want to fall on that one, it's on the machine. Now, kind of give it an extra squeeze just to make sure it's nice and taut. The thicker the garment, the harder it is to work with. So our design's going to fit right in this field right here, and we will trace it so you can see that. So now let's just take it over here to the machine. And let's see, that's that one right there. Okay. And now we will put it on the machine. Now you can center it before you put the hoop on, or after you can kind of see where, we want it over here, so we got to get this thing to go over and back some, right? But obviously you can tell that it's way, this is your middle. So I'm going to take after you put the colors in, you hit set, and that enters the color. Now it says embroidery start. We're going to scroll over here till we think it looks like it's in the middle, and then back some. So your hoop rides right here, so you kind of want that. Now if I slide that on there, it goes under these springs and clips in. Now it won't come out. This one's nice because it has the grid lines on it, so you can kind of tell. Over here on your control panel, there's a parentheses bracket that has a number in it or a letter. That is the current needle that the machine is set on. So that is the needle you want to center off of. All right, so we'll bring it out here. And needle number 5 is right here. So that's the one that we'll say is kind of engaged. So we're going to just kind of pull it down a little bit so we can kind of see where the center of it is. So I can see I still need to go over a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty good. And up and down, which is, back and forth, is not so bad. Now, once I get it there, I'm going to hit this trace button right here. And the trace button will do the field of the design. And the way I do that is, we said we were on needle number 5, so I'm just going to pull it down just a little bit, but not all the way down, because I don't want it to hit the hoop if I'm tracing it. So I'll just kind of do it, and I'm going to hit the trace button now, and it starts to move. All right. So you can see it goes out to there, and it comes down. Looks like it's fitting in there pretty good. Looks like it's a little close on this side. So I'm going to slide it over some. Trace it again. Trust me, make sure you trace it good and it's got plenty of room. You do not want to crash your machine. Not a good day. All right. Now, that looks like it's in there just nice. So I just let it go and you can see it pops back up. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button. Big blue button right here, start. And I always, till the machine gets going, kind of cover the stop button in case I do need to stop it real quick. There's always the emergency stop, but that's only in extreme cases. So again, I just hit the start button and kind of cover that just to make sure, till I get going, or if I see like a a really long strand of thread at the beginning I might need to trim real quick, I can just stop it and keep the thing as clean as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it. Here we go. You'll hear the tone. Slides over to needle number 2. Now it's going to start. All right, so you see that long tail right there? So I'm just going to stop the machine. And I got me a nice little pair of little scissors right there. And I'm just going to kind of reach in there. Blow that out of the way. There we go. Hit the start button again. It picks up right where you left off. Now it starts, that was the underlay. Now it's starting the satin stitch. And you can see that coming right down through there like that. Here goes your underlay. Satin stitch. Okay. And we digitize this design in-house. You know, like what we like when we run stuff, like our underlay amounts and the stitch length and all that stuff. But you can see what's happening here. There's got to be a certain way that that thread runs through there. For that wheel to spin, there's a sensor behind it, little encoder. And then over here, you can see it's counting the stitches. Shows me the speed that we're on, 670 revolutions per minute. Or stitches per minute, the stitch count, the needle I'm on, and your color layout here. I've got jobs as many as 20-some colors sometimes. All right, again, running along. You can hear it's running pretty smooth. It's going to get to the end of this word, and then it should put a trim in. We can tell the machine to put the trim in when you digitize the work. Let them run through. I usually run anywhere between 650 and 700 stitches per minute. All right, here you go. There you saw the wiper come down and pull the thread back. Moves to the next part of the design. Putting the underlay down. This is what they call kind of wire framing the design in. Gives you a nice solid underbase. And now it's going to start what they call a complicated fill or complex fill stitch. Let me get in there a little closer so you can see what that looks like. So it puts a nice little pattern on it. And you can change those patterns too. The digitizing world is amazing. I have some very old software, but it works wonderful for me. Doing the complex fill, and you'll see how. So you see how it started that one part of the C and then it moved to the top. Now it's coming down to meet that. That is something that the digitizing software kind of does on its own. You just kind of basically plug the shape in and you tell it where you want it to stop at, like the amount of, you know, where the fill, like it's going to stop down here at the bottom of the C. And then it will put what they call a satin border around the whole thing. We'll just let it run. This little spring right here is just kind of hold some of the threads up out of the way. So they get pulled back by the wiper. There you go. Jumping over to that leg of the C. Speed it up a little bit here. Right now, run the satin border around it. Nice little edging feature that makes it look really professional. I did not put an underlay down under the satin border. Some people do. I felt that it didn't need it. And the customer was very pleased with this job. He's been back a few times. So now in the satin stitches, when you digitize something, it's on a straight part right now, and then it goes up and it kind of curves. Those are also sometimes two different features in your digitizing software. You have straight columns or straight satin stitches and curved columns or curved satin stitches, kind of the same thing. But it really makes it look clean. Almost down there. And I'm going to do this and trim it. Now I should switch to needle number 12. I'm sorry, that's right. What you said. Now this is dark blue, so I'm going to start putting the little words over top that we showed you on the screen earlier. Just lightweight, light density satin stitch for those small letters. Makes them run right through. Real clean. Moving right along, you can see no thread breaks, smooth, that's what you want. As you run the machine through your day or through your work, you will need to oil the bobbin rail again to keep it lubricated, and that way you'll keep running trouble-free. And also, you will run out of bobbin thread, so get yourself some bobbins. I use the ones with the cardboard sides, but they have ones with magnets on them with no cardboard that run really good. Check them out. And that's pretty much it. Then you can just lift up the tail end of the hoop of them right here, and it slides right out to you. And basically that's what you're left with right there. You can kind of see that satin stitch in there, I think, a little bit. Here you go. Right? Nice and clean all the way through. I got a pair of those little scissors. Sometimes I go through and get the little threads out between the letters. I probably would on these little blue letters. I have them set where there's a little length, and the way the fill stitch runs behind it makes it go in easy to go in and get those stitches cleaned up. And that's pretty much it. So there's your 9100 in a quick nutshell of operation. Thanks for watching.